What's up, risk managers? My name is Nasdaq Anonymous, and I'm addicted to the NQ. And boy, is she one hell of a drug. And welcome to tonight's NA meeting, where we'll discuss the economic data for the week, analyze today's session, and from that, build a winning game plan for tomorrow's price action. And if you haven't done so already, you can show your support by subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's jump into the charts now. This is tomorrow's data, and be mindful that all times are in Central Time. And we have a small block of news scheduled for tomorrow, so let's jump into it. At 7:30, we have goods trade balance and wholesale inventories for the month of September. At 8 o'clock, we have some housing news. And finally, at 10:30 and 12 o'clock, we have the 52-week bill auction and the 7-year note auction. And now that we know what to expect, let's jump into the charts and create a game plan for tomorrow's price action. This is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream, and today was definitely a range day. And as I analyze the charts, I see about 3 clues that's going to be essential for helping us find the best trades going into tomorrow's stream. So let's jump into it. During the overnight session, the Nasdaq opened slightly bullish and traded 86 points to the upside into a previous area of resistance. However, once the bulls failed to rotate price higher, the bears stepped in and price sold off 190 points going to the downside and seeing a slight bounce at support going into the close of the session. And based on this price action, here's what I'm going to be looking for. So today was just another exciting day for those addicted to the thrills of the NQ. And today was definitely an emotional roller coaster ride for both the bulls and the bears, because the market gapped up over the weekend. And once price sold off from resistance, the market's objective for the bears was to fill that gap. But it should not be a surprise to anyone that the bears failed to completely fill that gap, and the bulls were able to find support going into the close of the session. So if the bulls can maintain their control overnight, then I'll be watching the reaction when price retests the level at 565, because this is where the bears broke structure to the downside, and I do expect for the bears to step up at this level to sell the retest. But if the bears fail to regain control and price continues to trade higher, then I'll be watching the reaction when price trades back within a range between 595 and 620. But if the bears can regain control overnight and price begins to trade lower, then I'll be watching the reaction when price fills the gap between 485 and 477. Because filling this gap was the bears' objective throughout the session, but the bulls kept stepping in at the lows, preventing the bears from completing this objective. And with that last attempt failing to completely fill the gap going into the close, it does appear that the bulls are now starting their rotation higher. But the price action overnight will definitely be essential for our bias going into tomorrow's stream. Now, if you're enjoying the content and appreciate the value that me and my trading partner provides to the trading community, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the release of our next NA meeting and live streams. And with that said, let's jump into an ES chart. This is an ES chart, and this is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream. And during the overnight session, the E-mini S&P opened slightly bullish and traded 28 points to the upside into a previous area of resistance. However, once the bulls failed to rotate price higher, the bears stepped in and price sold off 24 points to the downside and trading within this range going into the close of the session. And based on this price action, this is what I'm going to be looking for. So just like the NQ, the ES had a gap open with price rejecting from a previous area of resistance. And also like the NQ, the bears on the ES also failed to fill the gap. And it appears that the bulls are starting to make their rotation higher. So if the bulls can maintain their control overnight, then I'll be watching the reaction when price trades within a range between 875 and 880. Because this is the range where the bears broke structure to the downside, and I do expect for passive sell orders to be resting in this area to sell the retest. But if the bears fail to hold this area and price continues to trade higher, then I'll be watching the reaction when price retests the level at 888. However, if the bears can regain control overnight and price begins to trade lower, then I'll be watching the reaction when price fills the gap between 856 and 841. Because filling this gap was the bears' objective throughout the session, and I do expect for bears to keep trying to sell price down until this gap is filled. And if the bears fail to regain control here, Once price fills that gap, then I'll be watching the reaction when price trades within a range between 840 and 835. Now, we have a crazy week ahead of us, and we should expect the unexpected with the price action this week. But I'll be monitoring both markets overnight to identify the best trades as we go into tomorrow's stream. And in summary, both markets started off the session bullish and starting the session with a gap open. Both markets traded into a previous area of resistance and price sold off for the majority of the session. And finally, both markets failed to completely fill the gap, with the bulls stepping in and starting to make their rotation higher. And that's all I have for tonight, risk managers. And you can watch us trade these concepts live by clicking this video. We'll see you there.